All right, hey guys, this is going to be a different kind of video to cap off the year here. I've never done something like this, but I kind of like the channel to be a mixture of different, just stream of consciousness. What comes to my mind? What do I want to make a video about? And so what I wanted to make a video about today is all of the anime that I watched this year. I usually don't watch a lot, like one or two here and there if it just really piques my interest, but this year I just got on a killing spree. I really enjoyed it. It was something that I wanted to just try and see, I'd heard about a few of these that I'm going to talk about. And then once I saw some of the really good ones, I just kept on going and going. Also, this is going to be August, and from then on, I started watching these. So that's why there's not a million of these on here, right? Hi, real quick. This is me from the future, 2025. If you're watching it so far, you hear me talking and you're like, okay, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of a long time ago, 2024. Yeah, it's because I meant to have this video done a while ago, and it just never got finished. That's why I am now here giving some addendums. So there's a few shows in here that came out with another season, or maybe my opinions changed a little bit about them, and at the end of when I talk about each show, a few times, not every single time, but a few times I'll interject with this camera right here to be like the 2025, what does he think now? I figured that would be a good compromise. Parts of this video are still unfinished, as you'll see as it gets a little further in. But I still wanted to publish it because I think this is a good video and I think my thoughts are interesting. So carry on me from the past. How are we going to do this tier list? First, I'm going to change this from S, A, B, C, D because I don't want to rank these that way. So I want to do... actually, we'll start at the top here. So my S tier is going to be masterpieces. Oh, that's not how you spell that word. My S tier is going to be masterpieces. Sorry, I'm typing so slow. I have my microphone right in front of my keyboard. So these are the ones that I watched and they were just stellar. I would recommend them to anybody, even if you don't like romance anime. So that's masterpieces. Next, very good. So you're looking at watching anime. Most of them are romance because that's what I was watching. These are really good. These are worth your time, all right? Next is good. So ones that I watch and they're legitimately good, but I might not immediately watch again. You know what I'm saying? Watch it through the first time, that kind of thing. Good, solidly good. Next is going to be okay. So I enjoyed my time with it, hit or miss occasionally, right? That's going to be okay. And then last tier is going to be not for me. So this is ones that I started watching, but just as I was watching it stopped. Could be the first episode, could be a few episodes in, and I realized it's just not for me. I didn't personally enjoy this one, right? So I'm going to be going in a little bit of a random order. I think the first one I'll do is the oddball of this list, which is Josie the Tiger and the Fish, which I thought was very good. So Josie the Tiger and the Fish is a movie rather than a show, which I think all of the rest of these on here are, and it is about a girl who is wheelchair bound. She is being taken care of by her grandmother, who's very strict, won't let her really go anywhere. She's too overprotective. One day she is pushed down it's a incline of a road. She gets kind of knocked loose and her wheelchair goes careening down this place, barreling into the main character, just like a college student, and through these circumstances running into her becomes her caretaker. And at first she hates him and wants nothing to do with him, wants to just be independent and all that kind of stuff, but slowly, gradually becomes reliant on him and warms up to him. My favorite part of the movie is, I don't want to get too much into spoilers because I would recommend you watch this movie, but there's a scene where Josie is reading to some children at a library. She's grown up the courage to present this book to these children. The contents of the book have a kind of a double meaning, not just it's a story about a mermaid, but it's also a story about kind of life as well, her life of those around her too. It's really emotional, and I really liked it. So, very good, Josie the Tiger and the Fish. That's the first one. Next one I want to talk about is Ranma, 1/2. I would also put this one in very good. So, of all of these on here, I'm caught up with all the ones that I really liked. Not the ones that are not for me. Maybe I didn't watch only one or two episodes, maybe a couple episodes. Ranma, I'm still watching because it is a long show. I think I'm on episode 125 or something like that as of recording this. I think there's like 150-ish. I'm close to the end. It's about this boy who is like a prodigy martial arts kid. His dad takes him to train in China for a little bit. They fall into these pools of water, and each different pool of water, if you fall into it, turns you into a different thing. So like the dad falls into one, he turns into a panda. Ranma himself, main character, he falls into one and he turns into a girl. And so when cold water gets dumped on you, you turn into like this other form, right? Like the panda or the girl. And when hot water gets dumped on you, you turn back to your normal self. And this is the case for a lot of other characters in the show. One girl named Shampoo, she turns into a cat. One boy named Ryoga turns into a pig. Another kid turns into a goose. But the premise is that Ranma has now returned from his training in China and has been betrothed, unbeknownst to him, to a girl named Akane. He's a martial artist. There's like martial artists of the day. His dad has like promised him to like other suitors too. So like, oh, Ranma, you're mine. And he's like, no, I'm really not. And his dad's like, well, I did want some porridge like 2 years ago. And I made a deal so that you would be betrothed to this guy's daughter. He's like, what the hell? You know, stuff like that happens. I really enjoy it. It's very much a comedy. Yeah, it's very good. Long though. The reason I initially wanted to watch it was because there's a remake happening right now. I think it's like airing once a week as of right now. And I was like, you know what? Before I watch the remake, I want to watch the original. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far. I only have a few critiques with it, which is why it's not higher. Same with Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. I enjoy these shows. I don't want to harp on the things I don't like about them because they're few and far between. But yeah, there's a few things here and there, but I really like Ranma. I did end up finishing Ranma in early 2025. It was good. I enjoyed it. And not only one, but 2 seasons are now out of the new show, which I haven't seen yet. I want to watch it with my sister if she wants to. But one thing I did do is we went to Japan over the summer, and I got a bunch of Ranma merch for the new show that's coming out. There's a little pop-up event that happened that we went to. I found it online. I was like, oh, we gotta go. I want to get some merch for Ranma. So that was kind of fun. Next one I'm going to talk about, let's do a different category. I'm going to do Spy Family. I think Spy Family is good. It's about a family. Lloyd is a spy, go figure, and his new mission is there's a dad who has a young son, has intel on like a war that's brewing, right? And so to get in contact with this dad, they need to infiltrate the school. The only way for him to infiltrate the school is to have a family. His daughter can attend the school so he can be a dad to like, oh yeah, let's have a play date or whatever. Our kids can interact. So gets this lady to be his like quote unquote fake wife, and he gets this girl to be his quote unquote fake daughter. Everyone has like a double side to him. So Lloyd doesn't tell anybody he's a spy. Yor doesn't tell anybody that she's an assassin. The daughter doesn't tell anybody. She can read people's minds. So she knows that the dad isn't a spy, the mom is an assassin, and she just thinks this is awesome. She thinks she's in like a spy movie all the time. She's living her best life. And it's just like keep things undercover, spy missions, hilarity ensues pretty much. I think people of all ages could enjoy the show. Like it's something I feel like I could watch with a younger sibling or a younger cousin or something, you know what I'm saying? Also, real quick, a lot of these other anime on the list, besides a few notable exceptions, have just kind of like it's okay, it's there, intro and outros. The Spy Family intros and outros are amazing. Very good. I would almost bump this up just based on how, like, strangely, noticeably, distinctly good the intros and outros are for Spy Family from everything else. Spy Family did come out with another season in 2025. I think it is very good so far. Intro and outro not as strong as the first couple seasons, but they're still alright, and the contents of the show are still really good. Next one, we'll talk about Agretsuko. So this is one that I would say is not for me. The main character's name is Retsuko. She is a red panda in a world of animals, and she works a 9-to-5 at this office building, and it sucks. Her boss is mean, her coworkers are gossipy, her personal life isn't amazing either, people get on her case all the time, and so her outlet for this frustration is like screamo metal freak out music. And it's just like an outlet for her woes, her anger. The premise is really cool. The reason it's not for me is the humor just doesn't stick with me. I think I might just not be the target demographic. I feel like there's a difference between like a character in a show being aggravating towards the main character. So like the boss, the pig boss, is really annoying to the main character. The hippo coworker is gossipy and annoying to the main character. But that can be funny to the audience member. Like, oh, it's annoying to the main character, that's funny. But in Aigretsuko, it's like it's annoying to the main character and it's annoying to me. It's just hard to watch, it feels like. Like, these people are just like, blah. And the voice for the hippo is just grating. There's a lot of people that are just the worst. And this, like, Retsuko's outlet, Screamo music, it's not like a central part of the plot, really. It's more of just like a cutaway gag that they do, at least at first. Again, I'm not saying this is a bad show. It's just not for me. I didn't get hooked with it. So that's why it's not for me. All right, let's do next one. We'll talk about My Happy Marriage. So I would say My Happy Marriage is good. It is a premise of this girl was like the first daughter of her father, and then her mom died, and her father remarried, and her new stepmom and her father and her stepsister are just like mean to her, basically make her a servant, really ruthless, and like, we don't even want you to be a servant anymore. We want you out of this damn house. So they marry her off to this rich guy who they think, oh, we're going to get money and she's going to be miserable. We're so gaming, right? No, he's actually really nice. Kind of wants her to flourish. He's like, hey, you need to open up. He's got his own quirks. Got like a rough exterior, but a warm interior kind of thing. But it's cool. Now, here's the interesting thing about My Happy Marriage. So everything that I've shown you so far, you'd think that that's it. You're actually wrong. There's also magic in this show, which I did not expect. I was blindsided by the magic. There's like demons also, and the girl is like, she secretly has this like innate power that not a lot of people have, and that was the original reason that like she was special. It gets a little complicated, and it's not really a detriment. It was a surprise. You're like, oh, this is just like a guy girl kind of Cinderella story. Was not expecting that. Yeah, My Happy Marriage, blindsided. I remember being blindsided with the magic. Like, oh my gosh, was not expecting that. Season 2 came out on Netflix this past year. I watched that as well. Okay, I think I stick with what I said. Like, I would actually move My Happy Marriage down to the okay category. I think it's like serviceable, but there's other things I think you should watch. It's just like, it's pretty good. The second season focuses on like this other member of her family that's trying to gain power, and she has to thwart him and unlock her ability. And it's just, there's other shows to watch. I would move My Happy Marriage down to the okay category. Next one, we'll do Shin Manetta. Shin Manetta, I'm going to put in the okay category. I think it's just okay. So Shin Manetta is a show about anything erotic, stuff in that nature is just banned. Like, you're not allowed to talk about it. Like, shut the hell up. No, veto. Nuh-uh. There's this faction of people who are trying to like rebel against the system and make dirty jokes and stuff and like teach the citizens to be liberated and stuff like that. And the main character gets kind of wrapped up in these shenanigans. It's funny. There's a few things I think were a little too much for me. Like, there's this guy that just wears underpants all over his whole body, and he's just like a weird stinky guy. I feel like stinky. I don't like it when people call other people stinky, but like, he's kind of a little slime ball, and I don't like him. There's also this girl that like betrays the main cast, basically infiltrates them and wants to be on their little rebellion squad, and then just like betrays them. She's like Starscream, just not funny. Like, Starscream is funny. She's just a little, and then they make there's this like ongoing joke about the main character being in this magazine series. I didn't like it when it first came up. It was weird, and then they just keep bringing it back. Other than those like, these jokes particularly weren't my cup of tea. It was an enjoyable, funny show. All right, next we're going to talk about Horimiya. I think that's how you pronounce this show. I wouldn't particularly know because it's not for me. I only watched a little bit of the first episode. The premise, from what I gathered, was guy meets girl. They kind of wear masks in their daily lives. Like, this one girl pretends to be, I think, like a popular girl, but really she takes good care of her younger sibling and is like a really good older sister. And then the guy main character has this facade, but in reality he's got like tattoo on his whole like side of his body and piercings and almost punk kid vibe. And it's been a little bit since I've watched this show, but this is gonna sound weird, but the vibes weren't there. It just wasn't for me. The dynamic was kind of strange to me between the two characters. I just wasn't getting into the show, and I thought I had other shows to watch, so I moved on. Next one I'll talk about is, we'll do, some of these are hard. I'm like, I have a lot to say about them. We'll do My Dress Up Darling. I will say this one is in the very good category. So My Dress Up Darling is about a guy who works at, it's like a doll store, but like very fancy dolls. It's been this kid's passion to work in this industry like his grandfather. He's just so enthralled by the artistic nature of these dolls and wants to follow in his grandfather's footsteps. He just naturally, because of working on these dolls, has a lot of knowledge. Like, you wouldn't think this, but like makeup and making like rudimentary sewing and making clothes and stuff like this. Well, there's this girl at his school who they have a chance encounter, and she's like, I really like to cosplay. You're like kind of good at doing all this stuff that I'm terrible at. Can you make cosplay dresses? And he's like, I'll try. And they're fantastic. He's really good at making cosplay outfits. And this sounds weird. I know I'm explaining this show and it's like, okay, this is strange. It is really interesting. You get to learn about this process of dressmaking. Like, they don't just like breeze over it like, oh, she wants a dress and the dress got made. No, they go into like, this is how we cut it. This is how we do measurements. And then there's the romance aspect of this too, because, you know, I'm kind of breezing over that, but it's good. It's really good. The interactions between the two main characters, they have a lot of good chemistry. It's like, it's really entertaining. It's a really, really entertaining show in all facets of it. It's all good. It's a great show. My Dress Up Darling did have another season in 2025. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. I would actually move it down, I think, if I were to make this tier list now. I think a lot of people did really like it, so don't take like my word as everything. This is just my opinion, right? But there was a few things in this new season I didn't like. There was now much more elements of like cosplay events and cosplay culture and meet and greets and this like dynamic between Gojo and his classmates, and all that stuff was fine, but it didn't hook me as much as season 1 did. And then they did this thing a lot more in the second season where they would kind of let you watch some of the stuff that Marin was interested in. Like, if she was interested in a show, they'd be like, all right, here's a couple of minutes from the show to get you in the headspace of what it's about. And I didn't like some of the shows. Please don't force me to watch some of these shows she likes, because they're not good. And I just didn't enjoy them. Especially there was this like kind of dark game she was interested in that had some like weird stuff in it I didn't really like. So those are just some minor critiques. It's still pretty good, but it wasn't as good as the first season in my opinion. Oh, one more thing I need to mention real quick is there's not going to be any more of the like visual stuff like that kind of goes with what I'm saying that you've been seeing on the screen while I'm talking about the shows. I never finished this video, so that's kind of why I'm doing these like add-on 2025 thing. But you're not going to be able to see that anymore. Just wanted to let you know. Just use your mind's eye. It's still good. Still listen to what I'm having to say. Just you're not going to see the visuals anymore. All right, next one. We'll mix it up. We've been doing a lot of, guy-girl romance, blah, blah, blah. Kaiju number 8. This one, I will say, is good. Kaiju number 8 is about a world in which kaiju, which are big monsters like Godzilla size thing. If you've seen Pacific Rim, it's like the monsters from that. These kaiju are commonplace. They attack Japan pretty frequently, and there is a squad of people who kill these monsters and deal with them for the citizens. And the main character wanted to be that, to follow in his friend's footsteps, who's the leader. His childhood friend has become the leader of this organization. And he wants to do that too. He wants to be by her side, but he is stuck on the cleanup crew, like cleaning up monsters, because he didn't pass the exam. And he's kind of older at this point. Well, while he's doing this cleanup for monster like remains and stuff, he gets infected by one of the kaiju, and it turns him into, like, he has the ability to go like almost like Super Saiyan. Like, he can turn into a monster and be super strong. And so he's trying to like use his abilities to get into this organization to fight monsters. Like, he wants to use his monster powers to fight monsters and save the world, while not having other people realize that he has this power, because if they realized he was a kaiju, they would kill him, right? That's the basic premise. It's good. Like, I enjoy it. It's nothing crazy. It's like a solidly good show. Good premise, good show. It's enjoyable. Sit down and watch it. Another thing I'll talk about with Kaiju number 8 is it's interesting seeing the dynamic between the main character who's kind of older and these younger kids. It's kind of like if you've ever been to college, there's always that like one, maybe he was an army vet or something that's on his like GI Bill or whatever, and he's like all the other kids in the class are like 19, 20, 21, fresh out of high school kind of thing, going to college. And then there's that one guy who's like in his late 20s, early 30s or something. It's like if that guy, instead of going to college, they're going to like, we're trying to fight monsters school. Like this guy is kind of past the normal age of people who would do this, but this like monster infection that has gotten him allows him to be at their level. It's an interesting concept. All right, next one we'll talk about here is Comey Can't Communicate. So Comey Can't Communicate, I'm going to say not for me. The premise of Comey Can't Communicate is Comey can't communicate, go figure. That was very helpful. Next one, no. Comey is a girl who goes to high school and has this outward appearance to everybody of being this like scary, like don't talk to me, stay away from me kind of girl. But in reality, she is terrified. And like the facial expression she's making to people is that she's terrified of social interaction. And so she's scaring everybody. It's like a Ouroboros, like she's scaring everybody. Like all she wants desperately is to interact with people, but she's scaring everybody away. So main character boy has a chance encounter with her and is able to actually interact with her. And she is able to communicate with him, not verbally, but by like writing on a chalkboard, and kind of explain to him that she really desperately wants to have some social interaction with people, but she just can't. Like she has social anxiety. She can barely get out more than a whisper. And all she wants to do is make 100 friends. So that's the premise of the show. Let's get Comey 100 friends. All right, cool. Let's get started. That's like 100 people. That's a lot of supporting characters. And the very first one they introduce is this person who they've been childhood friends with everybody. Like that's their thing. Is like no matter who you are, I was childhood friends with you. And there's like a different story for every person. It's really strange. I wasn't a big fan of the way they interacted with people. And I was like, if this is the first one of 100 friends that Comey's going to have to get, I don't really know if this is what I want to be watching right now. But it's more than just that. That's like a small percentage of the reason. I also think the main character was like had no personality. I don't mean to be like berating this show, but the main character just like he just exists, at least in the first episode, as like a conduit for the audience to get to know Comey. What else does this guy have? Fuck if I know. Like he just like he's just a nothing burger. He is a pancake with no syrup, no chocolate chips, no peanut butter chips, no bananas, no granola. I don't want to eat this pancake because it's burnt, Yeah, it wasn't really giving me much to go off of. Like a lot of other shows on this list, I had other shows I wanted to watch. I gave this one the first episode treatment. It didn't hook me. I moved on to another one. I'm sure you can watch Comey Can't Communicate. It wasn't for me. However, there is another show, Aharon. All right? This show, I'm going to put this one, I'm going to put this one in very good. Aharon is basically the premise of Comey Can't Communicate, except I like it. So, again, in Aharon, main character is trying a chance encounter with Aharon. She has kind of social anxiety. She talks really quietly. She's not like really exuberant. She's like a very small, soft-spoken girl people don't really talk to. He kind of breaks her shell, and she becomes instantly friends. Like, oh, you've interacted with me? We're best friends now. And he's kind of like, oh my gosh, we're best friends now? And she's like, yeah, we're best friends now. It's just like, I really can't describe it more than like, this is the premise of Comey Can't Communicate that I wanted. It's like Daniel, the cooler Daniel. Like, I think Aharon is just the cooler Daniel than Comey Can't Communicate. Respect to all you Comey Can't Communicate lovers, again, out there, Some of my favorite moments from Aharon are she's like stupidly good at crane games and like arcades. And she just keeps winning the main character little trinkets and doodads all the time, which is really funny. There's like this really funny episode where they're like, okay, so you're really bad at like just talking normally. You're like whispering all the time. So like, can you rap though? And that's like, why would rapping make a difference? But like, no, she's like, oh yeah, let's fucking rap, you know. So then she starts rapping, and they start communicating in normal volume with a microphone rapping, and then it's just like hilarity ensues from there. It's just stupid stuff like that, but it's funny, you know. Like it works. There's also a character who was like, she considers herself the childhood friend of Aharen. You know, again, like, oh, this is sounding weirdly familiar. But this childhood friend is not weird. Actually, no, that's not true. She is weird, but in a funny way. She wants Aharen all to herself and doesn't like this guy. Has this knack of just like eavesdropping everywhere. And Aharen has this ability to always know where she is. Like, she's hiding underneath the floorboard. She's in the closet. She's in the ceiling tiles. She's in a locker. She's just like everywhere, and Aharon's able to find her. It's funny. You explain the joke, it's not funny anymore. But and then there's also this dynamic with this teacher who's like, oh. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about Aharen now. I got other things to talk about. No, dude, go off. Keep talking about Aharen. This is a good show. Last season came out this past year. That finished it off. Super good. The ending of Aharen was really good. I really like this show. I can confirm it is solidly in the very good tier. And it didn't overstay its welcome either. Like, I feel like the runtime of it was perfect. It had a really satisfying ending. A really funny twist ending, too. Like, the ending of the show has one of my favorite jokes of the whole show in it. Stupidly funny the whole way through. Really enjoyed Aharen. We'll do Testament of a New Sister Devil. Where is that? Testament of a New Sister Devil. We'll talk about that one next. This one's good. Not higher than that, not lower than that. I think it is good. Premise of Sister New Devil. How do I tiptoe around this? It's kind of like the daughter of the Demon Lord has had her. She was sent away, and to a surrogate family to like adopt her. This family is killed, and she escapes. She meets main character, who is the son of this really powerful hero, like hero of the village kind of guy, and he has some of this power in him. He's like, hey, even though you're the daughter of the demon, we're chill, and we're gonna get stronger together and fight all of these people. Like there's kind of like political mechanisms acting out in the background, trying to like vie for power. And she's the daughter of the previous demon king. Maybe she wants the power, so they're trying to like kill her. So he's trying to protect. And there's other people that join their squad, and they're aiming to become more powerful by I'm trying to explain this. Oh, we'll say this. They make there's this version of like pacts in the show. You can make a pact with someone to become kind of like their. It's called a master servant pact, I think is what they call it in the show. So the main character guy, he's like the quote unquote master, and these other people in his group are the servants. And when you make a master servant pact, you both gain strength. I know this sounds really weird, but that's just how it is. They're also training and like sword fighting and like battling and stuff. There's explosions and crap. But one of the other things, another aspect of this show is like, hey, if you act subservient to me, strength. It's not super deep. It's good. I wouldn't recommend this to everybody, but it's funny. You'll see what kind of show it is very quickly. All right, next one. I feel like I've been kind of avoiding it this whole time. We got to talk about masterpieces now. All right, we're gonna do our first masterpiece. First masterpiece. We got to do Kaguya-sama Love is War. This show is fantastic. The premise is in a high school that is very, very prestigious, a very prestigious high school. Kaguya comes from a really rich and powerful family who has a lot of influence, and so she's been brought up to be this very stoic, reserved, cold, demanding girl who's got to be the very best, like no one ever was, right? So that's Kaguya. Shirogane is this like worked his way to the top, hardworking, I'm calling him like a blue collar. No, his family doesn't have a bunch of money. He worked his way, study his ass off to get into this school. He is doing his best, right? And he becomes president of the student council, and Kaguya becomes the vice president. They ran against each other. He barely eked it out. He became the president. She became the vice president. And as the months go on, what they were trying to have this like, oh, we're business, student counseling it up, nothing else going on. They really like each other. This is what they like. Kaguya really likes Shirogane. Shirogane really likes Kaguya, but they can't tell each other that because love is war. The first person to admit to the other person that they like them loses. Like, oh, now I can't believe you confessed to me. I am the greatest now. You must be subservient to me. And vice versa, right? So they have these battles almost of like plotting and ploying against each other to put themselves in situations where you will confess you like me. And that's the premise of the show, pretty much. It is super funny. I could gush about this show so much. There's a reason it's in the masterpiece category. Here's a few reasons. One, the narrator is fucking hilarious. He is just as much a main character in his own right. He's sassy. He like has opinions about the way you have to watch the show to understand, but like it gets to a certain point where even he is like, oh my gosh, these two, when will they just like, he gets fed up with the back and forth, right? He's basically an audience member. There's other characters in the student council. There's Ishigami and Chika. Ishigami is like, he's terrible with ladies, and he's trying his damnedest, but he's just has no filter. His struggles are really funny. He has a really heartfelt backstory, though. Like, backstory, super good, solid, really made me respect the character. Chika is just this force of chaos who exists to cause shenanigans and throw wrenches into all of the plots and ploys that Kagi and Shirogane try to pit each other against. At first, I didn't like her because of this, and then I realized she is amazing because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be put off by like, oh my god, like it's part of the show, you know, for this kind of stuff to happen. We're not going to talk about it ad nauseum, but like there's great characters, great interactions. Every episode's a banger. It just keeps getting better and better. Watch this damn show, okay? It's in my masterpiece category for a reason. There hasn't been another season yet, but there is going to be a TV special. Actually, I think later this month, because I'm recording this in December. I think at the very like New Year's Eve, there's going to be a TV special for Kaguya-sama Love is War. So I'm excited about that, but I haven't seen it yet. So hopefully it's good. But that's the update, 2025. All right, we're going to go completely across the board now and do a not for me. Is The Devil is a Part-Timer. It pains me a little bit to put Devil is a Part-Timer in not for me category because I really liked it the first couple episodes. The premise is that the demon lord from another dimension was like conquering the world and like destroying all the good guys and all this kind of stuff, but he's getting people are fighting back. Specifically, the heroine of the land is like taking the world back, and so he retreats through a portal to the real world, unbeknownst to him. And he gets to the real world, and the heroine follows him, and he's like, "What is this place? Why can I not use my magic as well as I could before?" And it's really like fish out of water humor. Like, he tries to get an apartment and it's run down and terrible, and he calls it his castle, and you are not allowed to break into his castle. He's got his like one of his generals, second in command, becomes like this. He's just like bumming off of him. It's really funny. He goes and works at Whack-Donald's. It's like, it's funny, right? But then as the show goes on, it just takes itself too seriously. It loses that kind of humor that I was enjoying the first couple episodes. It's just gone, and it's trying to be this like serious, I hate to say it, but like Testament of a New Sister Devil did what Devil is a Part-Timer is trying to do better. Like that, like there's like this side thing that's going on, you know, like we're talking about Devil's a Part-Timer, like he's a part-timer, that's a side thing. And then there's like battles and politics and all this kind of stuff. And sadly, Devil, like, it's just not, I don't think it's that good in Devil's a Part-Timer. And one thing that also rubs me the wrong way is this guy was evil. He took over the world. They show in the intro him, like, he was responsible for death of like unknowable amounts of people. So were his generals. In particular, one of his generals is named Lucifer, you know. I wonder if this is a good guy or not. He is responsible, directly responsible, for burning down the entire village that the main character girl, heroine, right, is from. They're all dead because of Lucifer. as well as numerous other, like, he's a general in a war. He is a bad guy, right? He's killed a lot of people. He comes to the real world and is causing more havoc, blowing up fucking buildings and stuff. And then he's like, they defeat him, and he's like, I'm so sorry, please, I'm just a little guy. I want to be homeless in your house and bum off of you and eat hot chip and play video games. I'm just a silly little guy. And they're just like, oh yeah, he's chill. Do you guys just forget that this guy has done atrocities and war crimes, and you're just like, whatever? They don't, I think, here's the problem I'm trying to, like, talk about, is I feel like they don't give enough justification, and, like, there's no remorse, there's no character arc, characters just kind of do things sometimes. It's trying to be this, like, it's got like a serious thing going on when it should just be silly and stupid. So it's not terrible, it's just not for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. Okay, all right, next one. More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. So this one, very good. I enjoy this one quite a bit. Premise is, in high school, there is a program where you get paired off, guy and girl, basically get an apartment together and be a married couple. It's not real, they're not actually married, but like, hey, you need to get experience to, like, live in the real world, have interaction with people. The main character is kind of hoping to get paired up with his childhood friend from, like, when he was younger, like, oh, I want to reconnect, and we'll be the married couple together, and we'll fall in love, it'll be great. And that doesn't happen. Instead, he gets paired with a popular girl, and it is like, oh no, because she is interested in this, like, popular, good-looking boy, and those, like, it's like an ex, right? Like, they got paired up with the wrong people in their minds, right? The way for them to get paired back up with the people that they want to be paired up with is they have to have an A in the class, and the other team has to also have an A in the class at the same time, and then they can switch. They can switch the partners, right? So that's the goal, at least at first, is, hey, maybe I don't like you as much, but let's do our best in this assignment and get an A so we can switch. But, to do that, you have to like each other and be friendly towards each other and help around the place and all this kind of stuff. So through this, they actually slowly begin to like each other. The guy that Akari has a crush on, he's just this guy that she has a crush on. Like, that's all he is. There's not like, I like these certain facets of his personality. She's really just infatuated by the idea of him. She doesn't really know that much about who he is. I'm not saying Akari is shallow because of this, but it's just like, that's kind of how crushes are. But he's a person. These people are people. And he has, like, a complicated way he views relationships because of an event that took place in his past. It kind of pops the bubble of, like, I like you, you like me. That's the extent of how love works. No, it's not. People are complex. It's not always so simple. I hope I'm not sounding too vague. I'm just trying to get this across without spoiling the whole thing, it's a good show whenever not just the main characters' interactions with one another are really good and engaging, but also the supporting cast as well. And I think this show does a really good job of that. I'd really recommend it. They did not make another season of More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. I want there to be one, but I actually think they'd have to do 2 seasons, because where the first season that I watched in 2024 leaves off, there would need to be, I think, 2 more seasons to cover everything, because I went ahead and read some of the manga, and there's, like, season 1, there's another chunk here, and there's, like, a clear ending point, and then there's another chunk here. I actually didn't see the end, because when I got into reading the manga, it wasn't done yet. It was, like, a couple of chapters from the very end, so I don't know what happens at the very, very end of it, but I don't think it's that popular. Like, I don't think they're going to make any more seasons of it, so I'll probably just end up reading the manga, but they'd have to make 2 more seasons, I think, to fully cover everything. Or, honestly, it might just be a good idea to, like, combine, cut down some of the fat of the 2 remaining seasons and just streamline it into one. That might be more manageable. Because where I think a second season would end is kind of, they do that thing that some of these romance shows do where it's like, oh, it's building up to the big reveal, and then they don't do it, that kind of thing, right? Like, oh, there's something big's gonna happen, and then they don't. They could maybe just, like, cut some of that and just like lead into the end a little better maybe. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. All right, let's knock another masterpiece out of the way. This one's, if you know me, you know where this one was going. As soon as you saw this, like, My Hero Academia, I love this show. It's a show about it's crazy that I'm explaining the plot of this show because this is really popular. If you know anything about anime, you know the premise of this show, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'll do a super quick summary. A society where superheroes have become kind of the norm, like superpowers and stuff like that. About 80% of the people in this world have some form of superpower, some very basic, like I can turn my hand into a cactus. And then others are like very powerful, like I can shoot lasers out of my eyes, you know? Main character, name is Deku, doesn't have a superpower, but he has the heart of a hero. He has this drive to save people, and the person he looks up to recognizes this heart inside of him and passes on his own power to him. That's the 30-second summary. There's way more I could talk about. I could make a whole video just talking about how much I like this show, but that's the 30-second summary. My Hero is a show that I thought was incredible from the start, but it easily could have just played it safe, kept doing what worked, and coasted along. But instead it just keeps getting better and better, and I refuse to talk about it more because I want you to watch this. Go give it a chance. For me, for you, mostly you, also me. If you don't like it and you mention that in my presence, I just legally cannot be held responsible for what happens next. So that's just how it's going to be. Dang, okay. I didn't realize that's how it's going to be past me. I finished My Hero Academia now. The show has concluded. They did announce that there's going to be a, final epilogue coming in, sometime in May, I think, of 2026, which I'm excited for. It's going to be one more episode of, post content. But the show has ended and it was very, very good. I have loved My Hero Academia the whole time since I've been watching it, and it is super great. The ending is fantastic. It's awesome. And I've actually been... I rewatched the whole show with my sister during 2025 this year, and we have been watching it. We've caught all the way back up, and as I'm recording this, all we have to do is watch the final couple episodes of the final season, so I'm about to see her reaction to how she likes the new season, but I think it's really good. I've already seen it. It's fantastic. I really like it. So My Hero Academia, you should watch it. Go do it. Listen to what I said. I was serious. Was I? I probably was. Next one we will do is we'll do Love After World Domination. So this one actually also has to do with superheroes, but in Love After World Domination, it's more of like a Power Rangers riff. It's like a parody of Power Rangers, kind of. So there's a team called I think they're like the Gelatos, and it's like red, green, blue, yellow, whatever Power Rangers, but instead it's like red gelato, yellow gelato, right? And they have like super powers, and they fight the forces of evil, who are led by these sergeants. The premise basically is Red Gelato finds love in one of the girl sergeant's evildoer. It's like, oh my gosh, I actually kind of like you. And it's like a comedy, and can't tell anybody that we like each other, all this kind of stuff. It's just it's the vibes weren't there for me. The humor wasn't really as good as I thought it could be. The premise is interesting, but it's just kind of basic. It doesn't. A lot of these other anime that are listed higher up for me, like Love is War, Aharen, Dress Up Darling, they have something that really, the writing is really good, or they're really interesting, fascinating, multiple facets to them that are you know what I'm saying? And Love After World Domination is just a very basic, bog standard guy and girl. You know, it's there's nothing really there. You know what I'm saying? Also, the title is a lie. It is not Love After World Domination. The bad guys are pretty much incompetent. They're never gonna. I would be floored if they ever actually conquered the world. They should have changed the title to Love After I Met the Bad Girl one time. That's the actual premise of the show. Not for me. Next one we'll do. Let's do Spice and Wolf. Spice and Wolf is very good. The premise of Spice and Wolf is there's this merchant who, back in ye olden times, trademark, goes around just selling whatever he can get his hands on, making a profit. He's a traveling merchant, and he comes to this town that is having like a harvest, like a wheat harvest festival. And in this town, they have an old tale about this like wolf goddess who would provide them with ample yield of their crops. But in recent memory, they've started to like actually lose faith in this goddess. Like they're slowly not believing in her anymore. And so she's like, okay, you guys have abandoned me, I'm gonna abandon you. So she leaves them and wants to hit the road with this traveling merchant guy. And she's like a wolf goddess, and so she's kind of like she has like wolf ears and a wolf tail. Yeah, she wants to hit the road and like, hey, can you take me to the north? So the goal of the show is, while we're on your merchant journey, can you also take me to the north? Because that's where I think my other like god level friends are, right? Along the way, there's like she's like a really good traveling companion, because like, yes, she does want like snacks all the time and is like spending their money on apples and crap, but she's like wise. The merchant is really good with money and knowing how to do business and stuff, and so he's kind of teaching her that, but she's teaching him, hey, this guy's trying to trick you, this guy is trying to cheat you, this is not like, don't do this, don't do, like, they really bounce off each other really well, and it's not just like it's believable that they're slowly becoming really good traveling companions, and probably eventually, further than that. It's a really good show, and it's like there's like some really cool economic concepts that they introduce, and like they're teaching again, kind of like My Dress Up Darling, how My Dress Up Darling like legitimately is fascinating and teaches you about like how some of these things work. It's not just like a throwaway like, oh yeah, he makes dresses, here's a dress. Spice and Wolf isn't just, oh yeah, he's a merchant, he just traded something. There are like several episodes in like arcs of this show that are just solely focused on like mistakes that are made, really bad ones. How do we fix this really bad business deal that I just got myself in? Or, like it's really cool. Yeah, there's like I learned stuff. Like I learned like college level stuff while watching Spice and Wolf, which is really cool. All right, we're getting towards the end here of the ones I have on my list. I guess next we'll talk about kind of a different vibe from all the rest. There is no romance in this one. This one's Assassination Classroom. I'm going to say not for me. The premise of Assassination Classroom is there's this yellow being who has made this, he appears to the world out of nowhere, and he's like, ultimatum, next year, I'm going to destroy everything. Like, I am super powerful. Think like One Punch Man level of strength. Like, this guy, this yellow, weird-looking being thing, he's super strong, and he can talk. And he's like, hey, in a year, I'm going to destroy everything. And you guys can't do anything about it. So sorry. But I want a class full of kids to be under my tutelage, and they're going to learn how to beat me. So they're going to learn. It's a classroom designed to assassinate me. So it's a weird, like, why would he make this request? This is bizarre. And that's kind of the premise, is like, we need to figure out what this guy wants. Why is he doing what he's doing? Well, it kind of like, it's not, I didn't watch a ton of it. Like, I watched the first couple episodes. It's kind of hinted at that, like, maybe he actually really cares for these kids for some reason. And like, he chose them specifically to like learn. And it's not just like this weird, bizarre, I want you to stab me thing. It's like, I want you to be better. I want to enrich your life, teach you to have pride in what you do, which is weird. It's like, that's kind of the juxtaposition of the show. It didn't hook me. I thought it was good. I enjoyed watching it with a friend of mine. Like, me and this friend watched it together. I would watch more of it if I was watching it with him, but like, it's not the kind of thing that hooked me enough to watch it on my own, if that makes sense. I think we'll do Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro next, which is very good. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I'm just going to call Nagatoro. The premise is, I'm going to call him like a junior, sophomore high school student, is like very reserved, shy, kind of like nervous, but he really likes to draw. He's in like the drawing club, the art club, and do all this kind of stuff. He's very like, he likes to do this kind of thing. And he gets noticed by Nagatoro, who is a year younger than him, and she is strong-willed. She finds he's basically like a little bit of a target, like, I like to like poke fun at people and like pull pranks on them. He is like nervous. He's like the perfect person to pull pranks on. So she's like messing with him, and what you doing? I want to, like, you should do this. Let's play a game. She's like doing all these she's like trying to be annoying, right? And it's like he's like freaking out and like, oh, why are you doing this to me? Yeah. And at first, here's the interesting thing about, like, you might hear that premise and be like, oh, she's just annoying. That's like a really frustrating premise. Interestingly, no, because that's the way it seems at first. But as the show goes on, it's slowly being revealed that maybe that's not exactly what this is. Maybe, like, it's not that she's trying to be mean to him. She finds this, like, entertaining, fun. She thinks she's being fun, and in a way, she's kind of bettering him a little bit. Like, he is so shy and nervous that, like, all of this poking and prodding is kind of making him a little more strong-willed, step by step. Is this what she intends? Maybe, because as the show goes on, like, there's a relationship forming. Like, she was just kind of doing it because it was fun at first, but now she kind of, like, does she have a crush on him? Does he have a crush on her? And there's a really funny supporting cast. I could talk about scene after scene. I don't want to spoil too much about it, because I again, this is in my very good category. I would recommend this to people that are interested. But you go into the show in the first episode, and you might think, like, oh man, this is really mean-spirited, but it's really not. As you keep going, it gets, like, wholesome. You really grow to like a lot of the characters in the show that you wouldn't expect. Like, the supporting characters really have distinct personalities, or if they don't have a distinct personality, that's their distinct personality. You know what I'm saying? Looking at you. And it's really fun. It's a fun show. I enjoy it. Popping in real quick to say that there has not been another season of Nagatoro, but I really want there to be. If I could make a show just have another season, I would make Nagatoro have another season right now. Yeah, I'm very sad. I want there to be another one, but there might not ever be. I waited all of this year to rewatch the show because I was like, oh, they're gonna make another season. Surely it's gonna be released, and then I'll rewatch it when the new and then they never did. So I might just have to read the manga at this point. But I'm very sad. I want there to be another season. All right. Next we're gonna do Tomo-chan is a girl. So I'm gonna say this one not for me. So the premise of the show is, Tomo is a, like, tomboy girl, you know, acts kind of like, oh, blah, 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 blah. She's done this kind of her whole life, and she has a childhood best friend who sees her this way. Like, hey, you act kind of boy-like, so you're one of the guys, you know? So he treats her like one of the guys, and she has grown to be frustrated at this because she has a crush on him and is like, I want you to treat me like a girl. I want to, like, go on a date with you or something, you know? And he just doesn't see her like that. And so it's like hilarity ensues, pretty much, is like, let's get this ball rolling. I did not get very far into this show, so that's about as much. I just wasn't really enjoying the way they bounced off each other. Not just them, but, like, there's just, like, the writing wasn't suiting me too well. And another thing, which I only really had this problem with Agretsuko too, is the voice of Tomo. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was very half-baked. I feel like they just, like, we need a tomboy-sounding girl to be the main character. Who's the first person? I do not mean this to be mean toward the voice actress, I'm sure, or whoever. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade, but, like, I think they could have done a little bit better job cooking the voice. Also, if it's not clear, I guess I didn't really say it at any point. We're this far into the video, I never mentioned it. I watch all of these shows dub English because all of them pretty much have a really good dub. So, like, Tomo-chan is a girl was another one I was watching with dub, and it just one of the I have little critiques. None of these are, like, huge, massive critiques, but one of them was the voice, right? And that was just like, hey, one of the couple turnoffs that I had of this show. And also, there's the guy that she has a crush on. It's even in the first episode, there's kind of this idea that, like, maybe he doesn't even realize you're a girl. Like, maybe he thinks you're a guy because the way he treats you is so much like you're a guy. And you're like, okay, that's an interesting dynamic. They throw that away instantly because in the first episode, they bring that up to him and he's like, yeah, I know, but, like, I'm going to do whatever I want and, like, treat her like I do. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. This is strange. It's just like there's just a strange dynamic, and it just wasn't for me. You know, not for me category. I had other shows to watch. I moved on from it, so not for me category. All right. We've come to the very end. Last but not least at all, certainly not least in the slightest, is Toradora. Toradora is easily a masterpiece. No questions asked, no holds barred. Little backstory on this one. A lot of these shows I would watch, at the end of the day, watch a couple episodes. They'd take me a couple of days to get through them. They're not super long, most of these, 20 episodes, 13 episodes, however many. There are 25, 26 if you count like a special extra episode. I was planning on just watching 1 or 2. I watched 10 the first day. Next day comes around. Again, I'm just going to watch a few. Watch the whole rest of the show. I watched 15 episodes back to back. Did not go to sleep until I finished. It's just that good. So here's the premise. The first impression that a lot of people have of Ryuji and the school that he goes to is that he's a very aggressive guy, but he's not. In reality, he's got a heart of gold. Just no one really wants to interact with him because of the way he kind of looks. And then Taiga, on the other hand, is she looks a little aggressive and she is a little aggressive. People call her the tiger at school because of the way she acts. And when they first meet each other, they kind of butt heads a little. Well, it's not them. It's mainly Taiga butts heads with him when they first meet. But they become friends because Taiga was trying to confess her feelings toward this crush that she's had for a really long time. They run into each other, and he is the one that actually gets the confession. And he's like, did you mean to give this to me? And she's like, no, I didn't mean to give that to you. I'm stupid. And so they bond over, turns out they both have a crush on 2 different people, but they're too afraid to confess. And so they're like, okay, we need to band together and root for each other, and we're gonna do it. I'm gonna back you up, you're gonna back me up, we're gonna be wingmen. So they're doing this, but as they're doing it, they kind of both realize, maybe after all of this time working together to chase after this crush, I don't actually have a crush on the person I think I did. Another really cool thing about Toradora is it has a lot of deep and powerful moments that just come and surprise you. You weren't expecting them. There's a moment when one of the characters is talking about ghosts and about how even though they've never seen a ghost, they have to believe that it's there, that one day they will find a ghost and see a ghost, even though it's not something that they've ever experienced. And you watch the scene for the first time and you're like, okay, that's an interesting thing for them to be talking about. And then you're like, wait a second, there's a double meaning here. They're actually talking about love in this scene. They're talking about how, even though I've never experienced love, even though I don't know what it feels like, I have to believe that it's there, and I have to believe that one day I'll find it. And then it goes for a third layer, because why? Why are they talking about this right now? Why is this something that is being brought up at this specific time? And it's because they're trying to let the other person know, I'm not sure I've found love with you yet. I don't know if that's something I have with you. But trying to say it in a easier way, because that's a hard thing for someone to hear. Toradora is able to have these moments and they feel powerful. They feel earned, And if you're hearing me describe this show and you're like, a lot of what you're saying sounds like some of these other shows you've talked about or another show that I've heard before, it's because this is the perfect version. This is the OG copy. The show is incredibly heartfelt. It is incredibly well done. There is no part of the show that I think could be done any better than it already is. It needs no continuation. It stands on its own. Love is War is on one side of the masterpiece romance category. This is on another, both equal in their own ways. It's really good. Toradora is really, really good. And so with that, my anime tier list of 2024 is complete. This is not just for me. I want it to be for you guys. Use this list as a stepping stone to go watch some really good shows and make your own order. Let me know how you feel about them. All right, real quick before myself in the past continues with the end of this video, I'll just talk about the other shows that I watched that I didn't contend, My Hero Academia, that had another season in 2025, but there were some shows that I started in 2025 and finished. I want to talk about those real quick. With my sister, I watched My Next Life as a Villainess, and I thought that show was, I'd say it was between good and okay. I thought it was alright. I watched Solo Leveling, super good. If you haven't watched Solo Leveling, what are you doing? Season 1, Season 2, very good. Quite good show, really enjoyed it. The prequel series to My Hero Academia had its first season, My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I actually, at the end of this video, I talk about how I'm excited to watch that, and it was really good. They did a really good job adapting it. And the next season 2 of that comes out, I believe, in January, so I'm looking forward to watch that. Jobless Reincarnation I watched. Was not expecting that to be as good as it is. I would put Jobless Reincarnation in masterpieces. It is definitely not for everybody. I would say you definitely need to, like, there's some mature stuff in the show, and it can be a little weird at times, but it is very, very good. I really enjoyed that. I watched Dan to Dan, season 1 and season 2. Super phenomenal show. Also in masterpieces. Dan to Dan is so, so good. I think it is my most anticipated show of... They just announced that the next season is going to be in 2027. I'm crying tears of sadness right now because I have to wait that long. But I'm really excited for Dan to Dan season 3. I watched the new Panty and Stocking. So there was the old... I watched Panty and Stocking a long time ago. And they came up with a new season that kind of continues where the old season left off. I thought the new season was really good. I'd put it in like a very good tier. I think the show as a whole, if you combine the original season and the new Panty and Stocking, I'd put it just in good, because I actually like the new season better than I did the old season. Like, there were some episodes of the old first season of Panty and Stocking I didn't think were that good. But the new season was just banger after banger, so very good. Then, Attack on Titan. Me and my sister watched Attack on Titan together this past year. Oh, that show is so good. That show is so good. Oh my gosh. It is... I can't talk about it because it would be massive spoilers for the whole thing. But, like, if you have not watched Attack on Titan, you need to. Just, like, you need to be in the right headspace when you watch it. You need to, like, theory craft as you go. Attack on Titan is super, super good. I really like the whole show. I also watched The Rising of the Shield Hero. That was a series... I'm talking about my sister a lot, but my sister recommended I watch The Rising of the Shield Hero, and I really liked it. I think it's good. You know, somewhere between good, kind of in that area. And then I have started watching To Be Hero X. I started watching like the first 10 or 11 episodes in the middle of 2025, and I never finished it, but it's super good. I really, really like the show. Those are some of the shows I've watched in 2025 that I didn't get to talk about, but I wanted to. So, the next thing I want to talk about real quick is shows I'm planning on watching this upcoming year. So, not all of these are romance. Like, I feel like I knocked out a ton of romance anime, and I'm still really interested in the genre, but there's a lot of other shows or movies or material in this like anime spectrum that I'm interested in. So real quick, to hold myself accountable, these are the ones I'm planning on watching are Dan to Dan, My Next Life as a Villainess, One Punch Man. I've already seen a good bit of it, but I think there's a third season coming out. I want to catch myself up. Mob Psycho, Akira, Evangelion, Blue-Eyed Samurai, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Skip and Loafer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and The Witch from Mercury. There might be some other shows in there that I'm not thinking of right off the top of my head, but those are some that have been like recommended and have been meaning to watch for a while now. So, and of course, I'm going to continue watching My Hero Academia. I love that show. There's going to be the final seasons coming out next year at the end of the year. And the spin-off prequel, My Hero Academia Vigilantes, is coming out in like a couple months. That's going to be fantastic. I've been wanting that to happen forever. If I had to make a wish list of like, hey, can these things become an anime? I would have put My Hero Academia Vigilantes number 1 on that list. It's great. I'm so excited it's going to have an anime adaptation. I would say Takane and Hana. I watched a lot of anime. Takane and Hana is like the only manga I read, romance manga. Really good. I really liked it. The premise might initially turn you off, but it handles it with care, and I think it's really good. If it ever got made into an anime, it might initially turn some people off, but I think if they gave it a chance, they'd really like it. Because it's very funny. It's a comedy. If I could have a wish list of like things to be made into an anime, I would also say the Pokemon Adventures. That would be so amazing if that got made into an anime. Holy cow. I would just die of happiness and go to heaven and then come back to Earth and watch the show if that could get made into an anime. It's so good. Please go read the Pokemon Adventures manga. If you're interested in Pokemon at all, it is leagues above any media they've put out recently. And yeah, I think I've gushed enough about all these anime. Check them out. This was kind of a passion project I wanted to do. Just kind of like in the future I could reference what I thought about some of these shows, and I'm interested in seeing how my opinions of them change as time goes on, because some of them aren't finished, you know, like Love is War, My Hero Academia, My Dress Up Darling, Aharon, More Than a Married Couple, Spice and Wolf, Nagatoro, Spy Family, My Happy Marriage. Like, these are shows that aren't done. So maybe I'll do this again. Hopefully there'll be some more seasons of them for me to review. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.